those that are supposed to be with you will be revealed. You just have to be obedient. See, if there's anyone struggling because you do not have a cosigner to the plan that God has for you, then this scripture here, I dedicate this especially to you on this Sunday morning. 1 John 2:19 says, they went out from us, but they did not really belong to us. For if they had belonged to us, they would have remained with us. But their going showed that none of them belonged to us. So what are you saying, Pastor Ray? Not everyone can go with you. We spend so much time worrying about who's not here, who's left us, who's not supporting us, and without worrying about, okay, God, who the people who are there. Because if they were supposed to be there, guess what? They would be there. You give me a few ride or die people, first give me the masses, and we will go to war. We've taken just a handful of us. It's myself and Sean Bay and Rashay and my dad going into this jail and completely turn that jail upside down in a short amount of time. How can you do that with just 5 people? It's having the right 5 people who are plugged into their purpose. I don't have to call Rashay, do you feel like going there? No, I already know she's going to be there. I know every Sunday morning my dad's going to be there. I know Sean Bay's going to be ready every Sunday morning. They know we're going to show up. The chaplain called this morning. He said, man, I just tell you, he's like, I just want to call you and tell you that I thank God for you and your family and everyone else who's been coming out here, because I know that you're always going to be there ready to go. Think about who is it that you are trying to wait to be with you. I was in line the other day to buy something at Walmart, and the people behind me happened to be African American as well. And so I was trying to check out my groceries, and they were trying to, and they didn't put the little divider between the groceries. And so the cashier started checking out their groceries too. And she looked, I said, no, that's their groceries. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought y'all were all together. You said it, not me. What am I saying? We're not always all lumped in together. You have to ask the question. As the scripture talks about, that they're not with you. If they're not with you, that's fine. I said, you roll with those who are with you. If no one's with you, you know what? There's something I may have given you just specifically for just you to do. Because what happens is the more people that we get attached to what we're doing, the more we think it is about the people and the support that we have. I love Rashay going to this jail. I love Sean Bay going to jail. But if they say, one day say, I don't want to go, well, guess what? Me and my dad would still go. My dad woke up one day and said, I'm just not feeling it. Guess what? I would still go. Because what I have been called to do, the mandate that I have, that God has put on my heart to do, has nothing to do with who's there with me. I appreciate it. And we're going to do some great things together, but it's not necessary. And that's one thing you have to understand, is that it's not necessary to have somebody with you in order to go forward what God has for you. But when you're obedient, guess what? People start coming along.
Yes, praise God.
That's how it starts. We continue to move forward from there. We pray, hear people all the time, say, God, do something with my life. Who's ever asked that question? My response would be like, what are you doing? What He's already given you.
Amen.
I think about, the whole backpack event that we've done. And I think about four or 5 years ago, we were giving out backpacks and school supplies to about 20 students. And I remember even then, something on the inside of me just kind of clicked, saying, okay, I know that there's something about this actual event, that there's something I'm supposed to be connected to it in somehow. I didn't have all the answers, but the great thing is that one thing about this church is faithful. We did it every year. We don't worry about the numbers. We just did the best that we could do.
Amen.
We don't despise small beginnings, and so we stay committed to that to providing those backpacks. And then now as we continue to go and continue to grow, and as we got more coming on board, for those who work with me at Hope Active, we have a saying that we are building a plane as it's going down the runway. And then all those who at Hope Active know that's absolutely true. The Lord is providing grace for the things that I do not know, the things that we do not know. But I see Him, what thing He is doing is He's honoring our efforts. And that's all glory to God for that. And so I'm thankful for those who believe enough in the vision of this church And what we're doing, restoring hope and wholeness, and raising believers to levels of greatness, and cultivating valuable relationships, and how we go out into the community through our efforts in Hope Active, and we be the bridge between great people and great hope. And we do that together. And we don't stop. And we stay consistent. And I think about this because when you just start moving, things start happening. And that's the thing we want to do. It's time for the church to wake up and start moving. I understand that you may want to like, yeah, I'm talking to everybody, me included. I do a lot, and sometimes I have to sit back and say, well, I feel like I've done my part. But every time I feel like that, I realize there's so much more that has to go forward. I say, God, I'm just doing what you called me to do. Lord say, if you just stay faithful, I'm going to show you why. God, I don't have all the answers, God. If you just stay faithful, I'm going to show you why. God, all these things are happening in my life. That's the favor of God on your life. If you just stay faithful, I'm going to show you why. Just a couple of weeks ago, someone said, you know what, Pastor Ray, I love what you're doing with Hope Active. I love how you're getting all these surrounding churches now, and the schools and the church to all work together. It's such a delicate balancing act because of separation of church and state, but I don't know how you did it, but you're navigating those waters so great. I was wondering if you'd like to come to Washington, D.C. so we could talk about this Hope Active model. I said, I just started this to bless my local community. God saying that we sometimes we limit it, not knowing God has a much bigger plan in place. But I'm saying sometimes we wait back thinking that we're unqualified, and I want to tell somebody that you're not unqualified. As long as you have air in your lungs, you are qualified to do what God has called you to do. I'm yelling today. My Apple Watch is telling me that my heart rate is up, so let me go ahead and calm down. But it's not about me. It's not. I promise you it's not. It's about the first point that I want to make. And number one is find out what you're passionate about. You want to know what you're passionate about? If resources were unlimited, what would you fix? If money wasn't an option, what are you passionate about? That's what you're passionate about right there. If it's to buy you a bunch of great things, then okay, that's where you're at. But that's what you're passionate about. The stuff that you would do for free. What would you fix? If resources were unlimited, if you put that picture on the screen for me. It's a picture right here. I won't say the person's name. But I want you to look at this picture. This right here. A young man, not even 15 years old. This young man, we've been spending time with this young man for over a year now. This young man is in a difficult situation. Like Sean Bay mentioned, the reason why I'm so passionate about it, I know we have to build this facility. I know we have to be here because we need to make sure we have a place so that people don't have to get up and move to Alaska in order to get away. I think about this and I want to have the picture here because I want y'all to understand this is what we're doing out here doing. You have to be able to not look away saying, oh, that's so sad, and oh, man, well, I'm sorry he doesn't have his mom and his dad to raise him. I'm sorry that his 22-year-old sister with 3 kids is raising him. Oh, I'm sorry, that's so horrible. Somebody should do something. We can't look away. We have a generation of kids just like this. A juvenile jail in Dickinson filled to capacity. Another juvenile jail right here in Seabrook, filled to capacity with people just like this. We have a generation of kids between the ages of 13 and 17 that are learning how to raise themselves. Whether it's electronics, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Snapchat, all that stuff is raising our kids right now. They're glorifying all these drug dealers, all these people out there with money, all these rappers and all these things. And they end up in this cycle. And now I have this gentleman here who we've been working with, back in trouble again. He was only free for a few days. I said, man, what happened? Well, did some things that were against the law. But I realized that he's setting some of these people up for failure. And like I mentioned, I'm a realist. My dad wants to say 10 out of 10, and every time I go there, I tell you guys, I'm only trying to reach 1 or 2 of you guys because I know some of y'all are going to be knuckleheads and not want to listen. And I realize that. But here, the reason why I do this, and the reason why I have these pictures all over on my phone, at my desk, is because I never want to forget. This is the reason why I do it. So just like Nehemiah, I can no longer look away. It can no longer be like, man, that's somebody should do something. So now you know what you're passionate about or what breaks your heart. You're asking, what do you do next? And Nehemiah 2:4 says, when I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. You're saying, but I'm only one person. But you have the power to intercede and go before God. See, the Bible is full of promises and examples about the power of prayer. Psalm 107, 28 through 30 says, then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them from their distress. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were hushed. Then they were glad that the waters were quiet, and he brought them to their desired haven. What you saying, Pastor Ray? Prayer has the opportunity to move the undesirable to the desirable. You say they were in a situation where they're saying they were in distress, they're in the middle of the storm. But through their prayers, that whole thing just turns around. That's the reason why it's so important to pray. In Kingdom Connection, when they're praying on Monday nights, that's the reason why Dr. Lee has been so focused on saying, okay, how are we going to pray strategically for what we have going on? Matthew 7:7 says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. Matthew 21:22 says, and whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if